I think I've found an angle to look at unwanted experiences and people that are in undesirable states. Because when that happens, because we feel so into it, and then you look at yourself sometimes and you be like, okay, then I think, what went wrong? Because I'm on my self concept. Why am I experiencing this person? Well, look at it like this: all things exist, right? Haven't you noticed that your experience with undesirable people have decreased dramatically? Like, personally, for me, I don't get that every day, but when I do, here's the thing: in moments like those, it's all a reminder. You don't let anyone come in your life and dictate whether they're doing something lovely or they're doing something bad. You got to own it all. And you don't own it to say that you caused them to be in the state. No. You own it to keep control and keep reminding yourself of what is true. If that's like giving out free will, free pass to say, okay, then just because you're good, I could say that you're the cause of it. You're the good person and it's independent of me, or you're the bad person and it has nothing to do with me. This is why the people who practice positivity and they want to disown negativity, they're always running. They always have that fight. They always have to go and be alone. They always feel drained. Why? Because they don't master. They only own the light and they're afraid of the darkness. They condemn it. And what you condemn, you bless, you invite. So why it's said to take accountability, why it's said about the oneness is that you got to own everything to control it. That's how it does not affect you. So say someone comes in your life in a very nasty state. That state does not define you. They are occupant of that state unknowingly. Chances are they're asleep. You're the awakened one. And if you let that person come in your life and you want to disown that person, you're going to fall into their state and poison yourself. You're going to find yourself being frustrated, arguing, and that's natural because sometimes it does happen that way, but it doesn't matter if it started that way. What matters is if you don't forget who you are. You rise up and you say, look, I'm not that state. That person, what they're doing, it's not my fault. However, I'm the only causation in my life. And when it comes on to me, you gonna show up the fuck how I want you to show up, or you're not gonna show up at all. So if it's a case where that person does not matter, okay, then fuck you. But even saying that, do not have the idea that that person is independent of you. You just don't have to deal with that person. You completely deny the experience. You let them rise to meet you. I always ask myself, like, you could, like, even at the workplace, everybody's nice and this one person, they just allow that person to just steal the whole vibe. Why? One person, because against others, because minority and majority is subjective. You can have one person and 100 people, good people, and they let the one fucking bad apple spoil the bunch. No, bitch. No one bad apple spoiling my bunch. I am the whole fucking bunch. So if it's a case where I have to cut your ass off, that's gonna happen because you're not gonna take my vibe. So you gotta have the attitude. You're not defining yourself with that. It's not that you're causing, it's just that there's only one causation, one power on a general level. So you have to look at it from a general standpoint. There's only one causation. That causation is your true self. That's what you're operating as. You're a leader right now. You're not enslaved, you're not asleep. To whom much is given, much is required. You're on that level where you lead. And a leader, it doesn't matter what happens, you're in charge. You have to, it's the same thing in the external world. When you're the boss, it doesn't matter if someone that you're managing, they did something, it wasn't you, but you have to take responsibility. That's how you rise, that's how you change. And it's the same thing with yourself. When unwanted experiences or people come in your life, you don't own it as defining yourself or blaming yourself. You own it to change it, to deny it, to say, nope, it's not happening, it's not this way, it's what I say it is. You remind yourself of who you are and only what you accept. You don't condemn yourself, you don't condemn the person, you don't condemn the situation, you allow it to conform to what you have in place. Your commander. You don't fight, you don't argue, you don't need to do that. The law is perfect and how it is. It's just that in your ignorance, if you act upon your feelings and forget who you are, you poison yourself in that moment. And that's quite okay, it's a part of the journey. But as long as you know who you are, you can redeem yourself, revise the situation, and get back on track. So owning the darkness is not to define self. Owning the darkness is to remind self that I am in control no matter who, no matter what, and things are only what the fuck I want them to be. End of motherfucking story. It's your life. You're the only author. You're writing the script. You don't let anyone come and say, hey, I'm the bad guy. No. The only bad guy here is me. And if I want you to play the bad guy, well, you're going to play the bad guy. If I want you to play the good guy, you're going to play the good guy. It's my life, end of story. They have to conform. They have to conform. The light, the leader is always greater than the follower, the dark. But you can dictate which is greater. You can make them be the greater, even though they're the lesser, because we live in a very subjective world. It's what you want to be. You own the darkness to control, because there's only one causation, not to define you. You're not that person. You're not what they're doing. You are you. And in owning that, you disarm them of whatever they're doing. That's it.